Time to sort a little problem out on the van I've not told you about. Because, well, it's locks. Now, the back of the van, at some point, had a padlock hasp on it. I've taken off what remained. I need to weld up these holes. But normally, you have the handle here, and I don't have a key for that lock. So, all the while I've had the van, I've not been able to lock it. The only lock I've got that works is the driver's door. The passenger door is a different lock, so I have to lock that from inside. And the ignition is a different key again. So, thanks to the Renault 4 forum, link up there, I put a shout out. They are really good. When I had the 6, brilliant forum for finding weird stuff. And they helpfully furnished me with some bits and pieces, including a brand new handle for the back, which has the lock incorporated. Unfortunately, I've only got the car manual, so I'm going to have to figure out on my own how to do this, because I'm not going to go back indoors for the internet. I've not really got any clues on the back of this as to how it goes in. There's some little wings on the side of it there, and that's really about it. There's no obvious fixings or anything, and the only thing I've got on the back here is this bit of trim around the handle and a little star thing. So I think we'll just pull that off and see what's behind it, and hopefully all becomes clear. There's 2 more here. Let's see what's behind this layer. I hope I'm not messing up any adjustments. What are you attached to? There's a rod, which I assume goes up to the top of the door where there's a latch. And there's another rod here. And let me bring you in. This is quite an old-fashioned style of lock. You see these on things like Morris Travellers and older estate cars and vans, where you pull this and it rotates a cam which pulls a rod from the top and a rod from the bottom, and that pulls on your little latch here so that you can free everything off to open the doors. I can see behind here the door handle just there, look. So I think I've got to disconnect one of these rods to get in at that, because I think this is in my way. So it's very cold. I'm a little bit nervous about piddling about with ancient French plastics, so maybe we'll go with this one that looks more like it's a hook and might be easier, and I can just move this out of the way. Okay, there we go. Right. There's nothing obvious holding that in. There's this big zinc plated bracket here and the handle through it, but I can't see any obvious clips. It has another point here, so that's curious. Well, I do know from the handle that there's a plastic clip here, and if I push that out I can just change the lock barrel and not the handle, but it would be nice to put the whole handle on if I can. And there's no movement in that. I can't see. I've got a feeling something probably rotates or locks or something like that. I really I don't want to risk breaking any of this by pushing the wrong thing in the wrong place. I have been thwarted on the internet by this van being the most generically named vehicle on the planet, and I can't find anything on this. So I'm going to pry out this piece, which I know locks in the lock barrel. Maybe that will give me some insight, because there's the metal body here, and that is this portion here. There's a plastic sleeve which holds the lock barrel, and then there's a plastic sleeve around here which I think is a locking ring. And I think what I'm supposed to do is knock this around, so this will stay in place, the locking ring will knock round, and then the handle will come out, because even when I operate the handle it moves the middle portion, it doesn't move this portion. I'm guessing. I don't actually know what I'm doing with this. Oh, or I just do that. Huh. So you can just push the handle out. This feels like a very weird way of doing things. I feel like this should come out as one unit. Yeah, because no. There's notches on here which would suggest a bit like a fuel tank sender top. It kind of suggests you knock this round and then the whole thing pops out. I'm going to risk it. Not the easiest to get access to, though. I'm not going to risk it. I don't like that. I may have just made a terrible mistake. I've just popped this off and the spring's gone boing. Oh no. Never fear. I've sorted it. Also, I had a little bit of a tap around and there we go. So my guess was about right. There's these little notches, and if you're very careful you tap them round and you can see they stop on the metal part there. I should now be able to slide that out and get the new handle in. The temperature is the thing that's making me nervous here, because this is old plastic and it's very cold. I just don't want to break things because I don't have a spare locking ring. Let's see how this goes when I pull it out. Might need some persuasion. That's going. Everything's a bit crusty. Right. So that's our locking ring. That's the brace that goes into the door. And then this, with lots of lovely dissimilar corrosion, this is the handle base. There we are. Yeah, so what was holding it in there, you can see the sort of powderiness, because this is aluminium, this door's steel, and although this is, you know, it looks like it's zinc plated, you do get a little bit of dissimilar corrosion, so it's just swollen a little bit. Hopefully I can just reverse the procedure, put the new handle in, and then rack it, and then the locking ring. Where's my tabs? There we are. Okay, and now I think I use these slots here yeah, so you use the slots in the outer portion, and that's a working door handle. And happily oh, you have not just this hook here has just detached itself from the bottom latch, giving me another job. Ah, cars. Never mind. Because that needs to be that side. So that I can... hello. Right, so that's what the rod looks like. It's got a sort of orange netting on it, presumably to prevent rattling, and it locks onto a little bobbin there, a little white plastic bobbin, and then the top rod has one of these sort of lock release plastic hook things. Yeah, this isn't fiddly at all or annoying. Can't feel my fingers. Right, that swivels up and clips on there, and then that goes on there, and then we'll do the bottom latch in a minute when I've screwed this back on, so everything stays in place. Well, that operates the top, so let's fix that one. With a bit of luck, I'll just undo this, the rod will be poking out, and I can just hook everything back together. Well, we shall see. Oh, they're quite loose. Also, you can't smell it on camera, but somebody is cooking something and it smells amazing. Delicious savoury spices. This is the back of our latch, so the rod, I'm guessing, will go in here, and there it is. Oh, how on earth am I going to do that? Do you know what? I think I've got to disconnect the rod from the top, because I don't think I can do that otherwise. Oh, actually, I might be able to take this panel off. That might give me some better access. Last one. see what we've got. Oh, there is some access. Good. So, yeah. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to be able to show you, but we've got the rod here, and I've got to try and get this thing, strip that shit off, lined up somehow. I don't think I can. If I do that. Oh, it's so close. Yep, no, can't quite do it. I need to drop the rod down about 2 millimeters. Yeah, and if I pull the handle, it actually shortens it, which doesn't help me. So, so I've got to disconnect it from the top, just so I can connect it at the bottom. I'm pretty sure I can't quite get this. It's so close. But yeah, it physically just won't go. Got a feeling that I forgot to press record there, but I did get in through that gap and got everything hooked back up, and I've got the lock working, the latches working, everything's good. So I'm just going to button the trims back on, shut the doors, and check everything works. It'll be nice if it does. This was a little bit more involved than I was expecting, but not too bad a job. Right, let's see if this works. I'm pretty sure it will. So at the moment, doors are unlocked. Wrong way. Bit of a weird lock on this. There you go. Now it's locked. So I'm used to ones where you turn it and then it's unlocked or locked, but this one you sort of flick it and then that unlocks it. And then you turn it enough that the handle moves and then it's locked and you can't get in. Also, that's just a nicer looking handle. Right, that's one more job off the van. It is too cold for me to do anything more today. So I'm going to leave that one here for me today. I don't know if it will be the whole video. And we'll come back and do the jobs on the front doors I want to do when it's a bit warmer. Thanks for watching.